Hi everyone, welcome to Talk After the Tea, where we put the teacups down and we dive a little deeper into clinical or philosophical questions around our main topic of tea with the OT. Today, following our chat with sensory processing, I want to reflect on the provider's primary mindset shift. We're not translating concepts for parents, we're advocating for a fundamental neurological reality. So this is for my fellow providers, clinicians, and educators. So the core takeaway from that talk, from our last talk, is that a meltdown or a refusal is often a failure of sensory integration, an inadequate response, a maladaptive response to an environmental demand. So let's remember to consistently frame it in this way for our colleagues or for caregivers in our documentation. When we're dealing with a traffic jam in the nervous system, not a motivational issue. Our power as clinician lies in leveraging the proprioception, vestibular, and interoceptive systems because they offer the fastest or deepest path to a regulated state. So are we assessing and treating those systems first before we're putting other external demands on our clients? And this is where we have to draw a clear line for everyone on the team. Let's think about sensory challenge versus sensory preference. And I talked about this a little bit in Tea with the OT. A challenge is a brain-based barrier requiring therapeutic modification and skill building, whereas a preference is that accommodation for comfort that, while it's important for energy restoration and preservation, it doesn't always mandate a full intervention. When we consult with a teacher or another therapist, are we clearly articulating which one we are addressing as therapists? The clarity is critical for setting measurable goals and for avoiding that sensory burnout for both the child and the family. So here's my challenge for you this week as you are faced with your upcoming clientele, and especially as your clientele are reacting or responding or having to face maybe some more holiday parties or things that are being demanded of them from their family. Examine your treatment plans and documentation this week. Are you defaulting to behavioral language, or are you consistently using a more neurological or sensory lens to describe the root of a struggle? So let's commit to leading this little bit of a mindset shift. Our clients are not giving us a hard time, they're having a hard time. And so sharing that with, if you're working with caregivers or spouses or siblings, helping them kind of recognize that mindset shift for themselves or for the ones that they're caring for. Our work is to give them the tools to bridge the gap between when they're having a hard time and accomplishing the task that they want to accomplish. Thank you for joining me for that quick chat, a quick talk after the tea, and deeper reflection. Let's keep the conversation going. And please just drop into the comments how you'd like to integrate sensory processing or sensory integration into your practice. How do you talk to caregivers about it? How do you talk to loved ones about it? And how do you help them recognize this mindset shift for our clients? Thank you again for joining me for Talk After the Tea, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.